Good evening and welcome to the 2025 Division II Women's Volleyball Selection Show. I'm Will Haskett. 64 teams continue their journey towards a national championship tonight, with the 8 regions of 8 teams all announced right now. And within those regions, the bracket is comprised of 23 automatic qualifiers, leaving some regions only a handful of the 41 at-large berths to fill out the field. The 8 regional champs head to Sioux Falls, South Dakota next month to determine a national champion. And just making it there is obviously a huge accomplishment, and these regions are loaded with conference and past national champions. So let's find out who meets who after the Thanksgiving holiday. We start with the Atlantic region. Our first #1 seed awarded to Gannon. The Golden Knights enter off the sting of falling in the PSAC Championship Showdown. It was a season that saw them lead the conference in kills, assists, and hitting percentage, a team that can get the ball to the floor faster than most in their region. It's a 22nd now tournament berth for a program that has made the national semifinals twice before. Fayetteville State swept its way to the CIAA Championship to return the Broncos to the tournament for the first time since 2021. Pitt Johnstown vaults up the regional rankings to grab the 4 seed. Junior Ellie Zuro Sereno, first team All-PSAC West after leading the conference in kills per set. And she will look to attack Shepherd, which features one of the most efficient attackers in the entire conference. That would be Sophia Ryan. She swung it at a 371 clip this season. East Stroudsburg's great season rewarded with a 2 seed. Champions of the PSAC, stout at the net this year, leading the conference in blocks this season and ranking 3rd in the nation at 2.65 per set. Anna Coulter has more than half of those, second best in the nation for a team that had the conference's best attack against percentage defensively. And now for a happy bunch from Charleston right now as the MEC champs back for the first time since 2022. Indiana of Pennsylvania next. Jess Neiman and Delaney Concannon were both all-conference players, each with over 200 kills this season, while setter Ellie Rauch was the 1,000 assist mark as a sophomore for the Hawks this year. The Crimson Hawks reached the PSAC semifinals. They fell to East Stroudsburg in straight sets in that one, but 2 of those 3 sets went to extra points. So this is going to be a very tight regional with all these teams very familiar with each other, and they look to rebound in the NCAA postseason against Fairmont State, which makes its 4th tournament appearance in program history. All right, we head to the always fierce and difficult region to survive. That would be the Central, where the top overall seed here belongs to Nebraska Kearney. The Lopers sweeping their way to the MIAA Championship to nail down the top spot in the region and return to the tournament for a 29th time in program history. This team has proven the ability to do a little bit of everything in this postseason except win it all. They've lost the national championship game twice before. Maybe this is the year they go all the way. Top 10 in the country in blocks, kills, hitting percentage, and assists. You know this is going to be a tough team to get out. Oklahoma Baptist captured the Great American. They're your 8 seed here, returning the tournament for a 3rd time in program history. The 4 seed belonging to St. Cloud State, which punched its ticket to its 6th consecutive NCAA tournament and 11th in program history after winning its 4th Northern Sun tournament title in the past 5 seasons. They beat the number 13, 2, and 5 teams in the country en route to winning that loaded conference tournament win. To win that title, the Huskies improving to 16-2 all-time in conference tournament matches, 4-2 in championship matches, thanks to a roster of 4 all-conference selections this season. Missouri Western, the opening opponent, the Griffins, earned the 2 seed in the MIAA tournament but couldn't survive the quarterfinals. Now look to turn things around in the biggest tournament of their season. Obviously would not be this region without Concordia St. Paul, which captured its 15th Northern Sun regular season title this season, and in doing so logged the program's 23rd consecutive season with 20 or more wins. The 9-time national champions had 5 players named All Northern Sun, including the Player of the Year, McKenna Nold. Head coach Brady Starkey's team leads all of Division II this year. They attack at a .302 hitting percentage. Central Oklahoma hopes to spoil that offense in its 8th tournament trip, but the first time that they've made it in back-to-back seasons. Wayne State returns after missing the field a season ago and sporting an impressive 19-1 record in the Northern Sun to match Concordia in the overall regular season record. Second best offense in the NSIC, ranks top 10 in the nation in kills and hitting percentage. They're back for a 14th time in program history to battle Washburn. The national runner-ups 4 years ago featured the 2 most efficient offensive players in the country. That's Bella Limbach and Alex Dvorak. They're hitting 1, 2, and hitting percentage this year, both swinging over .460 for the 7th-ranked team in the nation when it comes to attack percentage. In the Central every year. An absolute loaded group of 8 teams. On to the East. Top seed there belonging to Bentley. 18th tournament berth for a team that is annually in this spot. The NE10's toughest defense led the conference in blocks, which helped to slow opposing offenses down all season. Elizabeth Blinn averaging 1.6 blocks per set. Top player in the country, while the defense's 114 attack percentage against is top 5 in the nation. They start with now 11-time participant Bridgeport, earning the automatic qualification from the CACC. American International is next, one of the most aggressive teams in the country at the service line. No program in America has more aces per set than this team. And so we wonder, will it keep Post out of system? Their top offensive player in the country is on this roster. That's Christina Parrish. She's a huge high usage hitter. 5.24 kills per set, tops all players in D2. Adelphi earning the respect of the 2 line here. The Panthers saw an 11-match winning streak snapped at the NE10 semifinals, but another strong regular season, driving this program back to the tournament for a 16th time and now 4 years in a row. McCarty McQueen named Northeast 10 Player of the Year. She leads the conference in kills per set, and also set a program record with 29 kills in a single match earlier this season. All right, breathe easy. Holy Family, 4th appearance in the NCAA tournament, comes from the last at-large bid in this region, according to Seedline. We also say good evening to Mercy, making its 3rd straight NCAA tournament appearance after winning the team's first ECC championship since all the way back in 2001. Senior Gabriela Bieniek was named the ECC Player of the Year, while junior Adriana Rivera Rodriguez was the ECC Setter of the Year. What a great balanced lineup. And back as champions, Mercy here, the 3 seed. Those accolades will be tested by Malloy. The Lions raced all the way to the ECC final to solidify a spot in the show today, and now they get the immediate rematch. First appearance since 2022, 5th overall. This team paced the conference in kills per set this season and looked to maximize opportunities to swing it coming up in this NCAA tournament as they get right back to the most recent opponent in the very opening match. All right, time to check in on the Midwest. A familiar school leads off here. That would be Missouri St. Louis, making it 6 consecutive tournament berths and the privilege of being the top seed here in 2025. 9th overall for the Tritons, regional champs in both 2022 and 2023. They're coming off a 3rd GLVC regular season title in 4 years, thanks to Caitlin Bishop, who was named the GLVC Player of the Year for the 2nd time in 3 years. Skylar Weaver, also the GLVC Libero of the Year. Familiar foe will be thrilled to have their season continue. It will be UIndy to lead things off against Missouri St. Louis. The Greyhounds roster hasn't had an NCAA moment to this point in their careers. They earned their first berth for the program since back in 2019. And we get our second Wayne State of the bracket. This one, of course, in Michigan. The GLIAC's top attacking team also led in kills, with the Kaylas leading the charge. You got Kayla Dulger, who's the catalyst of the offense. She's tops in the conference in assists, while you have Kayla Giroux, who led the way in kills this year. So, key, keep it away from the Kaylas. That will be the assignment defensively for Findlay, the GMAC's top offense, pacing the conference in hitting percentage and assists, also ranking top 10 in the nation in both. The Oilers earning back-to-back trips for the first time since 2017, thanks to the play of setter Emma White, 3rd in the nation in assists. Much deserved 2 seed for Ohio Dominican. History for the Panthers already this postseason. They get over the hump of the GMAC to win the program's first conference championship, and it was a 5-set thriller with Jenna Peters' 19 kills leading the way in the championship. And they battle 2-time national semifinalist Rockhurst in the opening match. Final battle in the Midwest includes Ferris State, 29th appearance for the Bulldogs, who haven't missed the tournament in 15 seasons. No program in the GLIAC dug more balls this year than this team, so expect some long rallies against Quincy. Quincy making its 4th straight NCAA tournament appearance. All right, we move to the South. You already know who's on the top line here if you've been paying attention to the sport at all this season. Of course, it's Tampa, which left no doubt all season long. The 4-time national champions look poised to win perhaps title number 5. this season. A perfect record to this point is the product of a deep team which rolled through the loaded Sunshine State Conference with both the best attack percentage and best percentage against this year. The last undefeated team to win it all was Cal State San Bernardino back in 2019. Tampa looks to become the fourth program to post a perfect season in Division II volleyball if they can run the table all the way to title number 5. And they open against Spring Hill, the SIAC champs, tournament bound for a 7th consecutive time. West Florida clocks in next, 8th straight Gulf South Conference title for the Argos, who are approaching 20 straight tournament berths now in program history. Setter Gabby Moulton runs the offense that led the conference in most categories and top 10 in the nation in total assists and kills. And she will be tested by Palm Beach Atlantic, which returns to the tournament for the first time since 2021 and came a win away from the title. They were national runner-ups 10 years ago this season. 2 seed belonging to Barry. It's been 21 years since Barry's most recent of its 3 national titles, and a new generation of players looks to lead them back to another title. That includes Valeria Kozlova, top 10 in the country in kills per set. We say welcome back to Eckerd. Kinga Mikowska is top 3 in the nation in aces while being the featured attacker in the offense for this program. More championship pedigree is up next. Lynn checks in as the 3 seed, reigning national champions, of course, from last year, the only team that can try to repeat in this bracket, with head coach Adam Maluski, who surpassed 200 career wins this season as he reloaded with a host of newcomers. The Fighting Knights reached 20-plus wins this season thanks to elite setter play. Ula Goryup was an all-tournament selection a year ago, and she has a lot of help on this roster to try and repeat in 2025, including from Hope Passarello and a few others that have tournament experience. We round out the South with Alabama Huntsville. The Chargers lost in the Gulf South semifinals, but have some serious talent, including 2 first-team honorees in Caroline Moyer and Zoe Smith. All right, we're on to the Southeast, a perennial power on the top line. That would be Wingate. Death, Taxes, and the Bulldogs in this tournament. They're fresh off a 15th conference title in the last 20 seasons. Wingate leading the SAC in almost every major category this year and posting a near-perfect record. Sydney Moreland, second in the conference in both kills and hitting percentage. She is the key to the offense, and she will get plenty of swings, you would imagine, in the opener as they will battle Emmanuel in the first round, the automatic qualifier out of the Conference Carolinas. Carson Newman returns for the first time since 2022 thanks to a high-powered offense run by Blair Cherry and a balanced attacking crew with 3 players who average nearly 3 kills per set or better on the season. And that will provide a nice test for Flagler, which led the Peach Belt in most major offensive categories en route to another conference crown and the automatic berth here. A 2 seed for Lenore Rhine, 8th tournament appearance after a run to the SAC championship, where Avery Dale is a star in this lineup. She led the conference in both blocks and hitting percentage this season. And she's got a superstar matchup with Lander because they feature Katie Miller, their senior outside hitter. She recently broke the Peach Belt Conference all-time career kills record, which had stood since all the way back in 2004. Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year for the 2nd consecutive season. Miller is only 39 kills away from 2,000 for her career. Anderson hasn't missed the field in nearly 10 years, returning again on the shoulders of Ellie Neoport, the setter, whose team has more assists in total than any other in the conference this season. And Augusta rounds things out in this region, returning for a 7th straight tournament as well. Maybe the grittiest team in the Peach Belt this year. They led the conference in digs, also top 3 in the country in total attacks, keeping a lot of rallies alive this season. All right, we head just west of there to the South Central region. Top seed there belonging to MSU Denver. This will be the 31st appearance for the Roadrunners, who dominated en route to the RMAC title this season. All that is left for this program to accomplish is a deep NCAA run as they seek a first semifinal or national championship game appearance. 4th in the country in attack percentage, 9th in kills. This is an offense certainly capable of going the distance. All right, let's hear some screams of joy all the way from Colorado Mesa. The Mavericks pushed their tournament streak to 5 years thanks to the final at-large spot in this region. It was an RMAC quarterfinal win over Colorado Mines that likely got it done to seal the regional ranking. Congratulations to Colorado Mesa, back again this year. Volleyball royalty next with West Texas A&M. The Buffs seeking national title number 5 this year in the program's 32nd overall appearance. Only 3 other schools in the country have earned more trips to this bracket. CSU Pueblo has a long way to go to match that number, but hope that this is the year that they get to taste victory for the first time. It's the program's 5th appearance winless in the previous 4. And how about the season for UC Colorado Springs? With only one tournament berth in program history, that was all the way back in 2007, the Mountain Lions roaring back into this tournament, having lost just twice in the months of October and November, and both of those were against top seed in this region, MSU Denver. A year ago, this team was 11-15 overall, and this year it has been nearly dominant. What a turnaround and a reward, the 2 seed here, and perhaps on a collision course to get over the hump with MSU Denver if they can meet in the regional final. Colorado School of Mines also turned fortune around this year, returning to this bracket for the first time since 2022, thanks to the RMAC's best defense in terms of opposing hitting percentage. Angelo State took care of business at the Lone Star Conference to earn the AQ to return and hope to have a similar journey as last year. They won this region before making it all the way to the national semifinals where they lost in 4 sets. But to do that again, they have to contain a very familiar foe, Lubbock Christian, which makes its NCAA tournament debut. In fact, it's the program's first postseason appearance at the national level since the 2009 NAIA National Championships. With 25 wins this year, best in a single season since 2010. They have a freshman setter in Camden Sears who claimed 8 weekly conference honors this year. First team selection, also became the first player in school history to claim setter of the year and freshman of the year in the same season. It's a familiar matchup and a young team that is growing up with each and every week. By the way, she ranks 4th in the nation in assists as Sears as a freshman this season. All right, 1 to go. We head out west, top seed out there belonging to Point Loma, which won its 2nd Pac-West Conference regular season championship in the last 3 seasons, as the program making its 3rd straight NCAA West regional appearance. The team reaching new heights this year with the highest national ranking in program history and a 4-1 record this year against nationally ranked opponents. Abigail Nua was the Pac-West Player of the Year for the 2nd straight season. She leads the conference in kills per set and points per set, while ranking 3rd in NCAA Division II in both categories. Cal State San Bernardino rolls in off their own title, capturing the CCAA title for a 7th time. The 2019 national champions missed out a year ago for the first time this century and are back in this year. The battle of the last frontier in the 4-5 matchup as Alaska Anchorage, the 2016 national runner-up, will try to break through against Alaska Fairbanks in the opener of the Nanooks, earning the GNAC AQ after finishing the year as co-champions. It has been a tremendous season for this program, which sported the conference's best defense in terms of attack percentage against. Tessa Onaga anchors the defense on the back line, more digs this year than any other player in the conference. 2nd-seeded Simon Fraser makes it back-to-back tournament appearances for the first time in program history, thanks to Eva Person running the offense. It sported the GNAC's top hitting percentage this year. That offense is well known to Central Washington, who was the last opponent of the regular season just a couple of days ago on Saturday. So a very quick rematch of a highly competitive 5-setter between those two teams. Ella Bynes for Central Washington had a match-high 17 kills just a couple of days ago. And how about the Sunburns of Fresno Pacific? The Sunbirds surviving a 5-setter with Point Loma to earn a berth into the tournament, the last set going 27-25. A program that owns 6 NAIA national championships now gets its first crack at the NCAA D2 bracket and a near-perfect record as well. Congratulations to the Sunbirds of Fresno Pacific. And they open with Western Washington, led by Devin Ostrich, who had 18 double-doubles this season. The program returns to the tournament after missing out the last 2 years. This program came 1 set away from winning it all back in 2018, a new batch of players hoping to start a similar path all the way back to the finals, as those are your 8 teams out west. All right, there you have it, all 64 teams still alive in pursuit of this national championship. One of my favorite selection shows of the year because every team gets a little extra time to celebrate and be thankful all week for the chance to continue playing. After the Thanksgiving holiday, regional play takes flight the first weekend of December with our 8 regional winners heading to the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for games December 11th, 12th, and 13th. Be sure to track regional action, see the championship seeding all right here on NCAA.com. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Will Haskett. Congratulations and best of luck to all the student athletes competing in this year's championship.
Class, today we're talking NCAA championships and life lessons. Schoolwork got you stressed, feeling overwhelmed. Need a place to unleash a quick, hearty yell? Behold. Join thousands of screaming fans for a heart-pounding in-person experience you have to see to believe. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Visit ncaa.com/tickets.
Professor, who are you talking to?